Guys, can you believe what's happening right now? We're literally watching history unfold before our eyes. Remember just a few years back when Wall Street wouldn't even look at crypto. They treated it like it was radioactive or something. And now, oh man, things have completely flipped. Here we are in 2025, and Wall Street isn't just interested. They're going all in. These guys want ETFs, they want markets running 24/7, 365 days a year. No breaks, no holidays, nothing. And guess what? The only way they can pull that off is through blockchain technology. Think about that for a second. Every single major player on Wall Street is now talking crypto. Not dabbling, not experimenting, they're locked in. The summit that changes everything. So check this out. At the Pantera Blockchain Summit 2025, we're seeing something incredible. This isn't your typical crypto conference with a bunch of small startups. No. We're talking NASDAQ. We're talking Apollo, Morpho. These are the giants, people. And here's where it gets really interesting. They've got a whole session called Wall Street Goes On Chain. Let that sink in. Wall Street going on chain. Brad Garlinghouse's game-changing quote. Now, Brad Garlinghouse from Ripple dropped this absolute bombshell of a quote at the summit. He said, and listen to this carefully, "This represents the future rewiring of the financial system." Boom. There it is. This is exactly what we've been talking about for years on this channel. Blockchain isn't just some add-on or nice to have anymore. It's becoming the infrastructure layer for the entire financial system. And Ripple, they've been building this exact infrastructure all along. The heavy hitters are here. Let me run through some of these names real quick, because this lineup is insane. We've got a panel on crypto's path to public markets, featuring BlackRock, yeah, that BlackRock, Bitwise, DFDV, and Pantera themselves.
When you see names like these massive institutional players, these Wall Street titans, it's crystal clear what's happening. The old financial system, it's on its way out. What Ripple calls the Internet of Value, that's not some distant dream anymore. It's happening right now. And XRP, it's positioning itself as a core piece of this whole new system. Ripple's bold new campaign. Speaking of Ripple, they just dropped this killer new ad campaign, and the messaging is perfect. They're saying banking, bonds, currency, markets, the entire financial landscape is evolving. They're not being subtle about it either. The whole campaign is literally called "It's Happening." They're repeating it everywhere. Breaking news, it's happening. Ripple, it's happening. Blockchain and cryptocurrency transform global finance. And you know what? They're absolutely right. It is happening. So, what's really going down here? Let me break it down for you. We're witnessing the complete rewiring of the financial system. This isn't some minor upgrade or patch. This is a full system overhaul. Blockchain and crypto are becoming the backbone of the new financial world. Ripple's showing us exactly how this works across different sectors. Payments, revolutionized. Finance, transformed. Banking, completely reimagined. Assets, everything's changing. The real-world impact. Here's what makes this real, not just hype. We're talking about faster settlements. We're talking seconds, not days. True global reach. No more geographical barriers. Lower costs. Cutting out all those middlemen. 24/7 operations. The market never sleeps. And partnerships like the one with Unicambio, that's just the beginning. XRP is deeply integrated into all of this. It's not on the sidelines. It's right in the middle of the action.
The full tech stack revolution. Okay, now here's where things get really wild. Whatever your business needs, Ripple's saying it's happening here. But check this out. When you dig into what they're actually building, it's mind-blowing. We're not just talking about Ripple payments. Oh no, that's just the tip of the iceberg. We've got Ripple custody, securing those digital assets, RLUSD, their stablecoin play, and so much more. Now, I want you to really look at this lineup and tell me in the comments, what do you see? Because here's what jumps out at me. This is core infrastructure, people. Who's getting connected? Look at who's plugging into this system. Crypto businesses? Check. Payment service providers? They're in. Fintechs? Absolutely. Traditional banks? You bet. Remittance and money transfer providers? All aboard. Centralized exchanges? They're here too. Every single player in the financial ecosystem is connecting to this infrastructure. And the crazy part? This is just what they're showing us on the surface. The efficiency game changer. Let's talk real talk here. The efficiencies that crypto brings to the table, it's not even close. We're talking night and day compared to the traditional system. Think about what's actually happening. On and off ramps are getting supercharged with stablecoins. Cross-border payments are becoming instant instead of taking days. Payment infrastructure is being completely rebuilt from the ground up. And with stablecoins in the mix, now we're unlocking something even bigger. Welcome to the tokenization revolution. This is where it gets insane. We're talking about tokenization as a service. TaaS. Yeah, that's a thing now. Tokenizing entire business operations, creating digital versions of everything. This isn't just tweaking the system. This is rebuilding the entire foundation of how business and finance work. And guess who's sitting right at the center of all this? Ripple and XRP. The Securitize bombshell. Yo, Securitize just dropped something huge with Forbes. Listen to this headline. Securitize and Ripple are bringing crypto mainstream. But here's the kicker. BlackRock and VanEck, yeah, those giants, announced they're tokenizing money market funds through Securitize. And get this, fund holders can redeem their assets for RLUSD directly on-chain. Their tagline? It's time to tokenize the world. We're going beyond trillions. I had to jump on this immediately. You know what I said? The goal isn't just trillions on-chain anymore. We're talking quadrillions, people. Think about it. Every asset class, tokenized. Every fiat currency, digital. Everything flowing 24/7, 365 days a year on utility-based networks. At this point, if you can't see that these utility projects are going to be insanely valuable, you're not paying attention. The plumbing analogy that changes everything. Here's the best way to think about it. We're changing the plumbing of the entire financial system. These utility-based networks, they're the new pipes, and everything, and I mean everything, is going to flow through them. The numbers don't lie. Check out these stats from rwa.xyz about XRP's growth in just the last 30 days. Tokenized RWA value, up 12.5%. Stablecoin market cap, nearly 39% growth. Stablecoin holders, up over 7%. RWA transfer volume, jumping 36%. And RLUSD, it's right there in the mix, growing like crazy. The $20 billion milestone. Guys, we just crossed a massive milestone. $20 billion in tokenized RWA value on public networks for the first time ever. The total tokenization market, we're at $33.5 billion and climbing fast. But here's the real story. Public networks are now crushing private network initiatives. Why? Because public chains offer something private networks never can. True openness
interoperability, and network effects. Everything these public networks bring to the table,
It completely destroys what private initiatives are trying to do. The game is over. Public wins. Why SWIFT is already obsolete. Alright, let me break down why what SWIFT is doing doesn't even matter anymore. SWIFT is stuck in the past. It's a private network that can literally cut people off whenever they want. Think about that for a second. A centralized network where someone else controls if you can use it or not? Nobody wants that anymore. The future is these open, utility-based networks where everyone has access 24/7. Game over for the old guard. Wall Street veterans are speaking up. Now, check this out. The president of 2K Room Trading, Sal Gilberti, big shout out to John Squire for catching this, just came out and said it himself. I'm an XRP enthusiast. Guys, when Wall Street veterans start talking like this, you know what's coming. These aren't crypto kids, these are seasoned professionals who've seen every market cycle. And they're picking sides. The Wall Street migration is real. Wall Street is moving on-chain and they're moving fast. Listen closely. Listen closely to what's happening here.
Based, and then you decide to venture out into cryptocurrencies, specifically XRP. What was the thinking there?
Well, we had filed for Bitcoin before, and we do have crypto interests, and I'm an XRP enthusiast. And when I saw the opportunity to file and get it approved, and really not holding XRP itself, but holding the derivatives so that we could leverage it and give investors what they want. They clearly want some leverage. We got a great ticker, double XRP, XXRP, and it took off. It was a big hit immediately, right out the door.
And if you could put on a forecasting hat, as somebody who looks at the fund flows, looks at the industry, where do you think else in the crypto sphere is ripe for even more activity with regard to cryptocurrencies that's outside the realm of XRP, Ethereum, and of course Bitcoin?
Honestly, I think picking the next coin is harder than people need to catch the wave of what crypto and the blockchain is doing to business. This really is the internet in the 1990s. I think there's a sea change coming, and picking the companies that are going to use whatever cryptocurrency comes next is going to be the big trick and the trick to big wealth.
Do you think that there is going to be an ETF boom in companies in that ecosystem?
No question.
All right.
Did you catch that? It's crystal clear at this point. Wall Street is cherry-picking the winners, and guess who's at the top of their list? XRP! Exclamation mark. Why XRP stands above the rest. Now, look, I'm not saying this just because I'm an XRP bull, though I absolutely am. The facts speak for themselves. XRP completely outshines the competition. Here's why. When you look at what Ripple's been building, the partnerships tell the whole story. BNY Mellon, one of the oldest banks in America. Securitize, remember, they're partnering for BlackRock and VanEck tokenization. And here's the kicker. Securitize is backed by BlackRock and Morgan Stanley. This isn't coincidence, people. This is strategic positioning. Regulatory clarity changes everything. Cointelegraph just dropped this truth bomb. Ripple's legal win gave XRP regulatory clarity. Now that institutions are circling and ETF proposals are emerging, it's becoming Wall Street's new favorite crypto. Boom. There it is in black and white. This is exactly why we've been laser-focused on XRP. The ETF tsunami is coming. Look at all these ETF filings flooding in. And here's what's crazy. The majority of these are getting decisions by the end of this month. We're talking weeks, not years. Everyone's watching as Wall Street pours in. And what are they choosing? Utility-based projects. Sure, HBAR is getting some love too, but XRP? XRP has the most attention by far. Yo, we just got another huge update. Nasdaq-listed Reliance Global Group just added XRP to their digital treasury holdings. This is becoming a massive trend that I've been tracking since September. Let me show you what I posted back then. Look at all these companies loading up on XRP for their treasuries. The XRP Treasury Army. Trident Digital Tech Holdings,
$500 million XRP Treasury Plan. Vivo Power International, $100 to $121 million in XRP. Webus International Limited, $300 million XRP Reserve Strategy. Logistics, $50 million XRP Treasury.
And the list keeps growing. Nature's Miracle Holding Hyperscale Data Worksport Everything Blockchain, and now Reliance Global Group. What this really means? These aren't small moves, people. These companies see XRP as a safe, long-term hold for sustained value growth. They're not day trading. They're building reserves. Think about what that signals to the market. When public companies are putting hundreds of millions into XRP treasuries, they're betting on the future of finance itself. We're seeing a constant, growing narrative here. Major companies are tapping into XRP. Wall Street is flooding in. ETF approvals are imminent. Regulatory clarity is here. The infrastructure is being built right now. This isn't speculation anymore. This is institutional adoption happening in real time. The question isn't whether this transformation is happening. It's whether you're paying attention to the signs. Wall Street doesn't move slowly once they decide. And they've decided. What do you think about all these treasury adoptions? Are we witnessing the biggest wealth transfer in history? Drop your thoughts below, and if you're as hyped as I am about what's coming, smash that like button and subscribe. We're not just early, we're right on time for the biggest financial revolution in history. And by the way, again, XRP haters. So basically, XRP has nothing special to be excited about. Well, here we have. This is what a NASDAQ-listed public company considers is special, and why it acquired a lot of XRP. This is from Bill Morgan over on X, but I guess some XRP haters think the company did no research and are filing this material with the SEC to mislead the public with the blessing of their attorneys. Here we have, from the filing, here's the highlighted view of why they tapped in to XRP. Speed. Transactions typically settle in 3 to 5 seconds. Low cost. Transaction fees are fractions of a cent, making it efficient for micropayments. Liquidity and banking use. Ripple's partnerships with global banks and payment providers drive adoption for cross-border settlements and liquidity management. Also, scalability. Handles over 1,500 transactions per second, rivaling traditional payment networks. And then, energy efficiency. XRP Ledger Consensus uses minimal energy compared to proof-of-work blockchains. Again, when we are looking at what's happening here, we are witnessing a massive shift from companies finally doing their research, tapping into XRP because of the efficiencies. And then also, Wall Street is obviously looking into XRP because of all the connections back to Ripple, with institutional players and what Ripple is doing. And it's also at the exact same time that Wall Street is moving on-chain, with over $1.3 billion in tokenized stocks, which is only going to grow more and more. At this point, I have to go back to what Ripple did put out. Yeah, it's happening. And it's happening faster than anyone thought possible. This is just the beginning. We are going to see things heat up even more. And Brad Garlinghouse is 100% on the money here. This is representing the future of rewiring of the entire financial system. We are going to see the entire financial system move on-chain. And it is happening. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on,